You know, I will tell you this story. I will tell you this short story. You can do with it whatever you like. Do with it whatever you want. There's this lady who was married to a pastor, very powerful man of God. In fact, his area of specialization was praying for barren women. Any barren woman she prays for gets pregnant and pushed to bed. And so the lady was married to him for 10 years without a child. And yet, during that 10 years, she can't even remember how many people who have testified, the number of people who have testified that her husband prayed for them and they all had their children, had their babies. But she was still barren. And so they went for a conference. They went for a conference with her husband. And then someone came out and gave the same testimony that she was barren for 15 years. They were married for 15 years without a child. And then immediately the pastor prayed for her that she now has twins. Immediately, the woman began to ask questions. She began to ask God, what is happening? How come I have a husband who prays for others and they have their kids? Me, I have been with him for 10 years and nothing is happening. And you know what God said to him? Because you only see him as your husband and not your pastor. Human beings are multidimensional. He said, because you only see him as your husband and not your pastor. And so the woman left the program early and ran home. She went and prepared food for her husband. She prepared his favorite. After preparing the food, she kept water in the bathroom where he would take his bath. In fact, she prepared as if her pastor was visiting, not her husband. And when the pastor, immediately the husband walked into the house, he called her honey. She said, "Sir, you are welcome, pastor." She served him food. She gave him water to take his bath. Immediately he finished, she went on her knees. And she said, "Pastor, sir, please, I'm in trouble. Pray for me. I have been married to my husband for 10 years and there is no child." And the man stood up, not as her husband, but as a pastor, laid his hands on her and prayed for her. 9 months later, they had a child. See, humans are multidimensional. Humans are multidimensional. Human beings, generally, are multidimensional. Ask yourself, why is it that Jesus went to his hometown? After all the miracles he had performed in different places, he went to his hometown. And the Bible says he could not perform any miracle. Do you know why? They did not receive him as a prophet. They received him as a brother, a son. As a brother and a son. They said, is it not Jesus? The son of Joseph. Of course we know him. We know his brothers and his sisters. We know his father. We know his mother, Joseph the carpenter. Of course we know them very well. And so they failed to receive him as a prophet. That's why he did not perform any miracle there. Until you begin to acknowledge people for what they are. Until you begin to understand that human beings are not just what you know them to be. You will never truly enjoy the benefits of what they carry. I am telling you the truth. You see popular pastors performing miracles, doing great things, healing the sick, raising the dead, doing mighty things in their ministries. But go to their families, you see people suffering from such sicknesses, carrying such burdens, and yet they have not been able to heal them. Ask yourself why. It is because they see them as a brother. He's my brother. He's my brother. And that is all you understand about them. Like I said earlier, take this information. Do with it whatever you want. God bless you.